Good morning, it's Jonathan Barratt with the debrief for morning debrief for February the 26th. A night last night, economic news in the US was relatively negative. Concern over Greece sovereign debt also weighed on the markets. As a result of that, a lot of our equities came under pressure. It was interesting that the US dollar didn't actually firm on what we'd actually expected, given the sovereign debt issue. In fact, we saw the US dollar have a little bit of a turnaround, certainly after it did firm in the earlier night, but towards the close, we saw the dollar come under a little bit of pressure. Anyway, let's just have a little bit of a wrap first as to where the markets closed in the States. Okay, the Dow down 53 points at 10,321. The S&P is down 2.3 at 1102, and the Nasdaq down 1.68 at 2,234. In Europe, the market was certainly also under pressure. The Stoxx 50 was down 1.85%. The FTSE was down 1.21%, and the DAX was down 1.48%. So generally quite negative on the equity fronts, and perhaps that will lead into the local market. The local market in itself just quickly closed up at 11 points, but at 4,586. Let's just have a quick look at some of the major news. US durable goods orders fell. Jobless claims rise. The durable goods orders was a concern for me because that, in my mind, actually said that things were looking quite good. That things we were coming out of this recovery. So if anything there, I think that is a little bit of a concern. Also, that jobless claims rise is also an issue for me because we need to see jobs created to enhance the fact that this return or this recovery is underway. If that starts to peel off, then we have to question the strength of the recovery, and to me that is a major issue. Okay, let's have a look now at just the various markets. And there we go, looking at the Falcon Trader there. I guess the most important thing here at the moment is we'll start off with the currencies. The dollar index in itself, as you can see, interesting move that the fact that we actually tried to get up here. And if we take out this area here, this trend line here, it's going to be quite interesting because this is a top, that's a low, this is corrective. If it takes out this, then we could end up back there. So that to me is an interesting thing. And if that does occur, then we could be in for a little bit of a correction for that US dollar. But very hard to trade because of this volatility, as you can see here and here. And at the moment, I think given Friday, I'd more likely just stay out of the game for the night. How did that affect with the euro? Obviously, those concerns in Europe affecting that euro. But as you can see, we've got a little bit of a bounce here in the euro. And that, to me, is very encouraging. Double bottom. That could be something to look at. Double bottom, very important here. Obviously, your stop goes in below there at 134.50 if you were to go long. Not a bad little trade to look at. On the Aussie, same sort of thing on the Aussie. We saw that bounce after getting as low as 88, and now we're at 88.83. Perhaps this dollar will start to weaken just a little bit, and we can see what happens there. But at the moment, at least we know we've got a bit of a range to work with, and that range is 88 on the downside and 90.50 on the top side. Okay, let's have a look now at some of the soft commodities and the energy sector, because this is where the energy sector I think is quite interesting because we did get quite a large sell-off for crude, but then she started to come back towards the close. So if anything there, it's interesting to note that perhaps the energy sector, although down, has found a little bit of a base here. But you would anticipate that those commodities that are integral to any recovery come under pressure given that weak economic numbers we had in the States. The same thing happened with copper as well. And as you can see there, copper came back a little bit but found a little bit of a low here, and chances are that if that low stays in place, and that's around that 317, you could in fact see copper commence its run higher. So quite good there. Okay, let's have a look now just at some of the softs. A mixed night, just looking at corn. Corn in itself relatively mixed. as with soybean and wheat. But at the end of the day, at the end of the night, she actually closed at the lower end, albeit at the top side. We are out of our corn, wheat, and soy positions at the moment, just looking to see what actually occurs. There's the soybean chart. And as you can see, soybeans under a little bit of pressure there, but we are out looking for a trade to occur. Okay, so that looks all quite interesting. As tonight on that sort of on the softs, tend to just lay low a little bit on that, waiting for an opportunity to occur there. Just having a look at the local market. The anticipation is that the local market will actually open weak, but I think the market will see there's an opportunity to buy into. And there it is at 45.86 after getting quite low there at 44.35. So if anything there, we've got a range, and that might just be okay for it and actually save it. So things aren't as negative as what people would expect. So that in itself, I think, anyway, let's see how the market was certainly weak yesterday. On the economic front tonight, the most important private sector credit in Australia, GDP in the UK, Eurozone CPI, which will be widely watched, and in the States we've got personal consumption, Chicago Purchasing Manager Index, a confidence number, existing home sales, and a couple of the Feds having a bit of a chat about the state of the economy. So all in all, it's going to be quite an interesting night's trading. Yes, I think we're not got a lot of positions in the market. We are nervous over what's happening in Greece. We are nervous a little bit about what's happening in those economic numbers in the States. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. But I guess one of the things we do like, we are still long on the Aussie and we're still long gold. So, but anyway, good luck in your trading. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you probably Monday.